type sanjeevnirla.com. That's the name of my website. And it takes you to my website. This is the interface. Go to 10+2. And in 12, you see a lot of things. Press heritage of words. And it takes you to the place where you can see lots of nodes, as you can see here. And purgatory, the first one which you can notice is one of the frequently asked topic in examinations. Okay, so here you have the node of purgatory. Why did the old man kill his father? First question. Okay, you also have the answer. And this is the most important question, number 2. What is the old man's motive in murdering the boy? One of the frequently repeated question. You also have the answer. And finally, the last question is, what is the theme of purgatory? Okay, so out of these 3 questions, the second questions I would suggest you to prepare for examination. That is, what is the old man's motive in murdering the boy? Likewise, you also have other texts like Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. You can expect a long question. Do you think the narrator is mad? Would you call the narrator is mad? From Full Fathom 5, Thy Father Lies, short questions, central theme of the poem. Okay, what is the death meaningful? And from feminist interpretation, Marx's interpretation of Hansel and Gretel, long questions you can expect. Also from Grandmother, short questions. Whereas from Traveling Through the Dark, how does this poem dramatize the mental conflict between duty and emotion? From About Love, you can expect long questions. Okay, what dynamism of loves are suggested by Anton Chekhov? You also can expect short questions like, how does Eluhin define love? And from Hurried Trip, you can expect the question like the economic relationship between Karnali and Nepalganj. From a story, generally you have the question related to the relationship between Thomas and Aunt Sarah. From Last Voyage of the Gossip, you generally get long question. How does this story describe the growth of the narrator from childhood to manhood? Okay, so this is the long questions you can expect. Now, when we see the questions related to meaning into words, then you press meaning into words, and then it takes you here. And you can see the first one, it is CB or format, CB format. In exam, generally how to write an applications along with a CV that is asked in 10 marks. So from 10 marks question, it is very important. Also, you have reported speech from unit 6. Okay, so to change direct speech into indirect speech. Likewise, from unit 8, you are asked the question like ought to, ought not to. You have all the notes here. Okay, so let me show you. Not only there is note, the important thing for you to consider is your Harik Notma. In all these notes, there is proper explanation. Then only there is the solution. Once again, I repeat, there is proper explanation. And when you read those explanations, thereafter you can easily solve the questions. Let's see, for example, from unit 7, deduction and explanation. As you can see on the screen, first you have the basic thing that you need to know, and thereafter only, okay, you have some rules explained there in the pictorial form. So when you read those 3 boxes, you can easily solve these questions like changing the sentences using must, can't, may, might. And there is also the solution from question bank. And you know very well that in exam, most of the questions are from question bank, so you can do it. Also, there is a question related to if clause, conditional sentence. So how do you deduct using if sentence? Along with the question, you also have the answer. So once you do it, you can easily solve all the questions. Okay, likewise, when we see other questions like, attitudes and reactions, unit 4, if there is one thing, unit 5, fill in the blanks using in, for, until, by, and job application. Again, that's very important. As said earlier, it carries 10 marks in exam, and it is almost a sure shot questions. Yes, job application is one of the almost sure shot questions carrying 10 marks in examinations. Apart from that, from unit 2, okay, with one of the frequently repeated unit in board examinations, you get many questions from unit 2. Questions like, okay, let me show you. Questions like look as if and look as though. Okay, and not only look as if and look as though. You also have other questions like seem. So how to write the answer of seem? There is properly explained you can do it. That's not very difficult again. And then apart from sim, if you see another question, it says rewrite the following sentences using sim. Okay, so you also can do it. And as I said earlier, there is proper explanations for doing every exercises, and you can do that. It's not that very difficult. Okay, as well as we have unit 1 experience. So when you are preparing unit 1 experience, I would suggest you to prepare used to question. Okay, and unit 9 clarifying is very important. So from clarifying unit 9, what kind of questions you get? 2 questions, exactly speaking. First question is information question. Information question means WS question. So this is the best thing. So how do we write information question? Explanation is given. And apart from WS question, there is also the solution of workbook. And another important question from unit 9 is indirect question. Okay, so you also please focus indirect question for your board exam. And sometimes, from unit 9, there comes one more sort of question, that is correcting. Okay, it is like a GK type of question. So Charles Dickens was born in Stanford, and I think you know it was not Charles Dickens, it was Shakespeare. All the questions, all the answers you have here from unit 9. So I would again suggest you to focus on unit 9 for board exam. And wishes and regret, most of the time you get 5 marks from wishes and regret. Okay, so 3 questions may be there from wishes, 2 questions might be from what you call regret. So altogether from unit 10, wishes and regret, you can expect 10 marks. So you can see here solution of wishes, and you also can see here the solution of regret. So how do we write the solution? You can easily see this. It's not that very difficult. Once you go through this, so if proper structures are given, and on the basis of that you can do. Unit 4 prediction, again, I would say very important. Why prediction is important? Because from there you can do likely, unlikely, sure to, certain to question from unit 14 prediction. And from unit 15 hearsay, okay, you can expect questions related to supposed to. So rewrite the following sentences using supposed to, one of the frequently repeated questions in examination. So let me just click it, and once I click it, it takes you inside. And yes, before the solution, there is the major points. Okay, you just consider these major points, like how do we need to remove it, and there is transformation given, and there is also the solution of workbook as well. So when you do it, if you take all these things, then you can easily solve all the questions. This is not very difficult.